Well, good to have you. Welcome in. A live look, if you're watching on Salem News Channel, at beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, home of the Super Bowl victorious Eagles. Fast Eddie is decked out in his Eagles gear today. I assume, Ed, after further review, you will not call this game rigged. You said you wanted to wait until Monday to rule as to whether or not the NFL is rigged for the Kansas City Chiefs. It is not, in fact, rigged, I assume. You will now conclude?
I can conclude that, in fact, it is not rigged for the Kansas City Chiefs now that we won.
That's good. Can we now officially put all of that to bed? Can we stop talking about rigging now? Are we all done whining about rigging? Is that over, or just let me know, because I want to know when it's official that we can trust watching the NFL again.
Chris, I'm sorry if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl again next year. I think you're unfortunately going to deal with whatever team is opposite of the Chiefs that will charge them with rigging. So I apologize. I don't think it's going away, man.
So what? Okay, let me talk to you about how about that? What if the Eagles make it back to the Super Bowl again next year? Will we talk about rigging then?
If the Eagles win, then I think we'd have a pissed off nation that would say that, oh my gosh, yes, it's rigged for the Eagles now. Yes.
Now I want you to imagine, because I think it's quite likely this is an impressive Philadelphia Eagles team. I think it quite likely they put together a string of victories again next season and could well see themselves in the postseason. Let's just imagine back-to-back victories for the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. Now, I am not taking this position. That's a fantastic team. That was an absolute beatdown yesterday. But I want you to imagine that they play this exceptionally all next season, make it to the Super Bowl, win again, and then immediately everybody starts screaming that the league is rigged in favor of the Eagles. Can you imagine that?
I can't imagine it from here, but after what I've seen the Chiefs go through, I could see it happening. I can't imagine the Eagles going back again.
I know. That's because, believe me, once upon a time, I couldn't imagine it with the Kansas City Chiefs either, and here we are. But no, yesterday was an absolute colossal beatdown. And I believe that Sirianni and the Eagles took a page from my recommendation playbook, which was make it too big to rig. Did I not declare on this show the only way you can defeat rigging or perceived rigging is if you just rack up a beatdown so substantial there can be no question. Even if rigged, you can't rig it because the win was too big to rig. That's exactly what the Birds did yesterday.
Yes, no, I agree, Chris. Yes.
So I think what I really sincerely hope about yesterday is that this puts to bed the idea that in fact, I had this thought yesterday before the game even started. I said to a friend of mine, if this truly were rigged, if the whole thing were rigged for our consumption, as is the popular mantra out there now, why wouldn't you then make sure the Chiefs lost yesterday? Go with me. If the house money, everybody's betting the Chiefs three-peat, unbeatable, likely. Don't bet against the Chiefs. If I heard that once, I heard it 1,000 times. Don't bet against the Chiefs, right? So if everybody's putting their money on the Chiefs yesterday, wouldn't it stand to reason the best way to rig it for the house is to make sure that the Eagles win yesterday? If any outcome were to be rigged, and you wanted the house to win big, it would be all the country putting their money down on the Chiefs only to see the Chiefs lose spectacularly yesterday. People that bet on the Chiefs lost big yesterday. See what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see yes, I can follow, yes.
So, if anything, one could say that the house just took everybody for a ride yesterday. All the bookies took everybody for a ride because everybody kept saying all week long, don't bet against the Chiefs. Don't bet against the Chiefs. And so I bet a lot of people did that. I bet a lot of people put their money on the Chiefs, and then the Chiefs just got spanked. So I'm wondering how much money was lost yesterday. How many bookies made tons of dough betting against the Birds, which I wouldn't have done, by the way. I took no bets. I don't bet. And I wasn't prepared to bet. You will note that I did not go into this season crowing. I did not go into the postseason crowing. This Kansas City Chiefs team was suspicious at best. They had a great record, best in the NFL, but it was a weird one. And the Eagles just hot on all cylinders they fired. I think the only thing about yesterday that did not happen for the Birds was Saquon Barkley. They managed to effectively shut him down, but other than that, that was about it last night. But every single facet of the Eagles game was impressive. I have figured out, as I said on X, How to Stop Time. For those of you that are vain and are self-conscious about aging, I figured out the secret. Kendrick Lamar. Fast Eddie? Now, yes, I am a Chiefs fan, and that was a very, very difficult. I mean, the Eagles put up more points against the Kansas City Chiefs than Mahomes had yards in the first half. So it was a devastating first half if you're a Chiefs fan, and devastatingly successful if you're an Eagles fan. And so, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, all right, well, they'll go into the half and maybe they'll figure something else out. Because, I think everybody, even if your team's winning, I think people would like a game. I don't know about you, but who wants to see I don't know. Maybe if you're on the winning side of it. I guess it's fun to watch a blowout, but it got kind of boring. I noticed that a lot of people on X were saying this is the worst Super Bowl ever because the Chiefs didn't show up. And the Eagles had it so well in hand early in the third, it was like everybody was kind of going to bed. I'm not sure, if ratings completely fell off by the fourth quarter of that Super Bowl, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not sure the advertisers got their dollar's worth. But you go into the half, if you're a Chiefs fan and you're thinking, well, maybe they'll regroup. I've never felt a longer halftime show, a halftime break, whatever you want to call halftime. Did time stop?
It seemed longer than usual. The halftime, the time they set aside did seem longer than usual. I will admit that.
It went on, and I don't know if it's because they normally bring in like 2 or 3 different people and kind of mix it up or whatever. Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam, and Kendrick Lamar, with whom I'm not particularly familiar. I'm just not. I don't even have anything against him. I just don't really know him. How do you quantify him musically?
He's definitely the biggest rapper in the world right now, for sure. He's very well accomplished. I think he's a Pulitzer Prize winning for one of his albums as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
Who's his? We were having this discussion. I don't know how you coordinate these things. Almost nobody ever likes the Super Bowl halftime show. Almost everybody always is critical of the Super Bowl halftime show. I can't remember a time people aren't. It's almost any artist that's asked to do it, it's almost a losing proposition the second you're asked. Nobody comes away happy from Super Bowl halftime shows, it doesn't seem, unless I'm misremembering. Is there somebody that's kind of universally beloved that everybody goes, oh, well, I was delighted with that outcome? I can't remember one.
Probably Michael Jackson. Did you know people that hated on Michael Jackson's halftime show? I think it was pretty unifying.
No. How long ago was that?
Early 90s. I think that was that one of the Cowboys wins, I think.
Brian, who did you say you liked in there?
Prince.
Or did you?
Yeah,
who was
Prince.
that? Prince.
Yep.
Prince. Yeah. Prince was a good one. Well, you know what? I think Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake probably wouldn't have been panned were it not for the wardrobe malfunction. I think that was a pretty solid one. I remember Tom Petty being kind of decent, but I suppose younger people didn't like Tom Petty. So it's like, what do? Do you program the halftime show for young people? Because this is something that, older people, families, white guys like me who don't know much about that whole scene that was put on last night. So you've got sort of this, melting pot, true melting pot, maybe the largest event in the world that we as a collective watch together. Who's the artist that crosses those boundaries? I don't know who does it. For me, it was not Kendrick Lamar. And it's not even like I'm anti-Kendrick Lamar. I have no opinion of him. I just felt like that thing dragged on. And I don't know, maybe I was ticked off that the Chiefs were getting torn apart. I don't know, but it just felt like a tooth extraction, Fast Eddie.
Hop, there was no flair, there was no usual kind of like pyrotechnics that go with it. Like there was the show itself. Like you can't have like a rapper that's like that good, that big, just be rapping for the entire show. It's the Super Bowl halftime show, so you have to give some kind of flair to that performance too.
With temporary Samuel L. Jackson interludes where he's just yelling things, dressed as Uncle Sam. Was there poetry in that I missed? Maybe there was poetry. Maybe it was Pulitzer Prize artistic stuff I didn't get.
Yeah, I'm sure there was. They were insane. They were in New Orleans. Why not add a nice flair to it, like a nice jazzy flair to to back up Kendrick Lamar throughout all that?
I thought the Open was tremendous. I thought the whole opening ceremonies were great. The whole deal was fine. Donald Trump shows up and raucous applause. No president has ever attended the Super Bowl. Trump's up there the whole time. People loved him. Every time he was up on the screen, people cheered. He went down on this field for a while. Well, nevertheless, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Super Bowl victorious. This is their second one we've watched in a few years. 2018 was the last one they won. So the Super Bowl trophy shelf not too dusty from 2018. They got a new one up there. That's exciting. Happy for the Birds. Congratulations. Our telephone number, 855-STIGAL. We've got a lot to get into today. Sit tight. 855-STIGAL. The executive orders continued to be fast and furious. We'll unpack it all coming up on the Chris Stigall Show.